If you're looking for like a finance 50 Shades of Patagonia vest guy, we're gonna start with the sports bars.
When did it become embarrassing to really be like devoted to someone, really be in love with someone, obsessed with someone?
I really think that dating apps are dying, and here's why.
Stop taking care of that woman who is...
A lot of good men have begun to prioritize themselves first, no longer chasing after women.
The reason men need to be pursuing women is because we literally don't need you.
What's the best place to meet single men who are 35?
Where the hell do y'all be finding these men that are obsessed with you? Good fathers?
As I get ready for this date, let me tell you, because this should not be a secret. Are there good men?
It never gets old, does it? Always chasing the good men after their fun. What a shame. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
And I wondered what it was like to be chosen. I was never chosen. I was a maybe, a probably, sometimes even a definitely, but never the one.
I finally came to the realization that you never loved me in the first place. The sad reality is that you came into my life and used me as a stepping stone, as your comfort. That's not love.
Female maintenance is too damn expensive to be talking to someone that's broke. Lashes, hair, nails, laser, wax. And the fact that a man could talk to you, seeing that you're always up to par, and can't even send you some money for your appointments. Not once a Zelle, not once an Apple Pay. This is for your...
Stop taking care of that woman who isn't treating you well. You deserve much, much better.
Most men are mirrors. They treat you the way you treat them. Treat him well, and he will treat you well right back.
Men are like Santa Claus. They don't want to guess at what you want. They want to be told what you want. We need to be really clear when we ask our men for something. Also, sitting on their lap helps.
Men are not finding love in a world full of feminist women who are entitled and treat men poorly. Men want a traditional feminine woman who they can build a foundation with. Men want a woman that respects and appreciates their husband.
It is nearly impossible for a man today to find a decent woman. Many women today are entitled, self-centered, and are looking for a paycheck rather than a real partnership. For a man to try and find something real today, he literally has to leave the West and go overseas, where traditional values still hold weight, and women appreciate and respect men instead of exploiting them. That says a lot about Western women and how they are pushing men away. The fact that so many men are choosing to walk away from Western dating altogether should be a wake-up call, but instead, these women double down on their entitlement, blaming men for their own failures in relationships. The sad truth is, until Western women change their mindset and learn to truly value men for who they are, rather than just what they can provide, the exodus will continue and men will keep finding happiness elsewhere.
Where the hell do y'all be finding these men that are obsessed with you? Good fathers?
So you need a nerd. You've got to get a nerd. They're too socially awkward and like afraid to talk to other humans, so they won't like go out, like, you know, step out on you. They're the good ones.
People really aren't joking when they say go for the nice guys, because I went for the nicest guy I've ever met, and I've been with him for the past 4.5 years.
I need someone to teach me how to become a girlfriend. How do I get over that hump where you're like dating? How do I get the guy to ask me, I want you to be my girlfriend? What are y'all doing to get the boyfriends? What are y'all doing to get the men to say, I want to commit to you after a couple of dates? Because I've seen it. I've seen the videos. I've seen it happen in real life where it's like, oh, this is my third date. He asked me to be his girlfriend. What? Like, what are y'all doing? Is it just a natural quality that you have? I feel like some women just give girlfriend off the rip. Like guys go out, they meet women and they're like, oh, she gives girlfriend, she gives wife, she gives mother. And I feel like I don't give that. That's just my own personal opinion. Like, I think when guys initially meet me, they're like, oh, she's so funny, she's cute, she's cool. But I don't think I want to make this girl my wife, or I want to commit to her. So how are y'all doing it? I need to know.
This is proof that dating is hard for most women today. But if a man isn't going to the next step with a woman, it's likely because she isn't feminine is probably combative and is hard to deal with. Men naturally seek peace in relationships, and if a woman brings more stress than she does value, commitment is off the table. A lot of modern women struggle with this concept because they've been conditioned to believe that their presence alone should be enough to secure a man's devotion. But men aren't committing just because a woman exists. They commit when she adds something meaningful to their life. This woman is asking how to get a man to commit to her. But the real question is, what does she bring to the table that makes her worth that level of investment? A lot of men can tell right away when a woman is just a fun girl versus a woman who is worthy of being taken to the next step. The fun girl is great for a good time, but men know she isn't someone they can build a future with.
One thing I'm not going to do is argue with my man, my pastor, big daddy, priest of my home all day, every day. It's not happening. When he speaks, I'm listening. Because I chose a man that I respect and I honor. The reason why you arguing with your man so much is because you don't like him.
The first is that I had no idea what kind of person would actually make me happy. My type ended up making me cry and feel unfulfilled. But then I changed what I look for in a person, and that nice guy actually ended up being exactly what I needed. The next is that my love and my emotions are not too much. I just needed to find someone who had the capability to handle emotions and talk about things. And therefore, since I wasn't in horrible fights all the time, I now have tons of energy to spend on other parts of my life.
The reason men need to be pursuing women is because we literally don't need you.
Okay, so what exactly is the point that is trying to be made here?
We don't need you. So why the hell would we pursue something that we don't need?
I mean, that's a good question. But if it's true and some women out there don't need men, why make a video like this? It rather seems like someone is trying to get men to chase women even though they don't need them. So what exactly would be the point? If you don't need men, then just be alone.
Studies have shown that women who are married have a lower life expectancy than women who are unmarried. We don't need you.
I think we're all still anxiously awaiting the point.
On the other hand, men who are married have a higher life expectancy than unmarried men. You need us.
Ah, there it is. But if that were the case, then there wouldn't be so many men out there that are actually happily single, now would there?
You need us. So, of course, we are the fucking prize. Of course you should be pursuing us.
Funny. But someone who would consider themselves to be a prize really shouldn't have to work so hard to convince others.
So let me get this straight. She said that she doesn't need men, and that's why men should pursue women. That logic is completely backward. If she doesn't need men, then why should men be chasing after her? It doesn't make any sense. A lot of women say they don't need men, yet they still expect men to make the effort, plan the dates, pay for everything, and prove themselves worthy. But if men are so unnecessary, why is all the responsibility still on them? This is the contradiction that so many modern women fail to see. They want independence, but they also want traditional treatment. They claim they don't need men, yet they expect men to approach, provide, and commit. Meanwhile, men are waking up to this double standard and realizing there's no benefit in chasing after women who don't even respect or appreciate them. At the end of the day, if a woman truly doesn't need a man, she wouldn't be making demands about how men should behave.
Okay, single Chicago girls are looking to meet more men outside of the bar scene. Come to Diversity Driving Range. I'm not sure why I'm saying this because we just left. It was absolutely mobbed. So don't necessarily take up space if you don't know how to golf, but there's a really cute little bar outside so you can have drinks outside, and there are a lot of cute single, probably looking men here just hanging out like it's a Sunday afternoon. There's like hundreds of cute boys here. So just PSA, there it is. There's one. See, here's like the little bar area. I mean, it's packed, but I feel like your chances are very high.
Does anyone else find it so hard to accept when the guy you're dating is nice to you and really likes you? I know that sounds so crazy, but like with me, when I first started dating my boyfriend, literally day one after the first date, he was obsessed with me and only me. He was only talking to me. He would text me every single day, and he would text me like really cute things, heart eyes, heart emojis, always bringing gifts to my house. And the first time he texted me something really cutesy and really sweet, my gut reaction was like, oh, I can't date this guy. But why do we do that? Why are we so put off by the nice guys at first? I'm not the only one who used to do that, right? I know that there are some other girls who are put off by the guys who seem too sweet in the beginning.
So many women are put off by the nice guy simply because they find those types of men lame and boring. They crave excitement, unpredictability, and the thrill of the chase, something that nice guys typically don't provide. These women are conditioned to be drawn to men who keep them on edge, whether through drama, emotional unavailability, or a sense of dominance that excites them. Nice guys, on the other hand, offer stability, respect, and genuine care, qualities that many modern women fail to appreciate until much later in life, often when their options have dwindled. These nice guys are not the same types of men they're used to, so it's hard for them to adjust. As a result, when a nice guy comes along and treats them well, they mistake kindness for weakness and mistake consistency for dullness. So they dismiss them, not realizing they're passing up the kind of relationship they'll one day regret not choosing.
Why are there so many women today who say they don't need a man?
I mean, because if they want to go 50-50 on things, I just don't need them.
Because there's a lot of bum-ass men out in the world who don't do enough so us women can supply for ourselves now.
Because they're feminists and they like to be feminists.
If a man has friends, doesn't want kids, hires a maid and hires a prostitute, why would a man need a woman?
I don't know how to answer this question.
Because of human connection, of meaningful connection, to correct myself. Just, there's nothing that replaces the authenticity of a partnership.
Right. Men need women in a sense because, I don't know, like, they need our love. You know what I mean?
True. You can't really get true intimacy with a prostitute. You can bust a nut, but that's about it.
Guys, I don't think I'm ever gonna find a man. Dating is impossible. Like, guys, so I live in a place where it's like a college town, and guys my age, there's not a lot around here, and if they are, like, I'm from here, and so I went to high school with them, and I'm not interested. And then it's like all the other guys are younger than me, and it's like, I don't want someone younger than me. Like, I remember being 21, 22, 20, and I just, no, not for me. Also, don't come at me. I'm in a coffee stand line, so I'm like not even moving. And then guys my age are just like chilling. They're in their chill phase. And then I try to go for the older guys. Like, I changed my dating apps to older, and it's like guys who like just got out of a relationship, or maybe they were married and are going through divorce, and their thing says like not looking for anything serious, or like open to short-term relationships, nothing about long-term. Like, I'm looking for long-term commitment, marriage. Like, that's what I want. And it's impossible to find. And then there's the guys that are like a good age, didn't just get out of a relationship, don't seem like they have relationship trauma, but they just like don't really prioritize dating or like meeting someone, so they just don't really care, so it's like super nonchalant, and like I'm not a nonchalant person, so welcome to my rant. I don't think I'm ever gonna find someone. I need to move, like yesterday.
I do understand that there are good women out there who are looking for long-term relationships, just like there are good men who want the same. The issue isn't that they don't exist, it's that modern dating culture makes it harder for them to find each other. Hookup culture and the illusion of endless options have completely distorted how people approach relationships. Instead of valuing and building with one person, many are stuck in a cycle of short-term flings, chasing instant gratification and always looking for something better instead of appreciating what they have. Social media and dating apps have made it worse, giving people the false idea that they can always replace their current partner with someone new at the swipe of a finger. This mentality makes real commitment rare because too many people are afraid to settle down when they believe there's always a better option waiting for them.
I am so freaking sick of this whole sassy man apocalypse bullshit. Girls, were we not just the ones who collectively got together and we agreed, we were like, man, I cannot stand it when they're so fucking nonchalant. I can't stand it when they're not expressing themselves. It's like, oh, sex, oh, sports, oh, video games. And then you're like, okay, but like, how does anything in life make you feel? And they're just like, I don't know, man, I'm just trying to vibe. I thought we all agreed that we hated that shit. That we hated it. We were all like, we'd like to have a world where men have more like layers, where they could feel comfortable enough to talk about shit like sadness and longing and jealousy and just pain and in general. We're all saying that. We had all agreed on that. So tell me why recently this whole new trend is going on, and if a guy comes up to you and then he's just like, you know, I'm actually feeling really, really bad about that. That thing that happened the other day, like that made me feel really, you know, underappreciated, and I feel like I'm putting a lot of effort into this relationship and I feel like you're not doing as much or whatever. And instead of being like, oh my God, I am so sorry, I didn't realize, we're all like, oh my God, you're being so sassy right now. We will never be free. We will never be free. We will forever be locked in these chains. You guys do realize that in the ideal world where like there's like a lack of toxic masculinity, there are going to be a lot of men being pretty sassy all the damn time, right? Because there would be like no social stigma against the man just being like, I'm sad, I want to fucking cry. Yeah, that shit hurt my feelings. That would be normal. That would be normal in the ideal world. Did not know I would ever see the day where I would come on this app and defend men. You have me on here defending men. How are we ever going to have a world full of Allens if every time an Allen does as an Allen does and just expresses themselves, we're just like, ew, that kind of gave me the ick. Ugh. At first, I thought sassy was like this new, still little internet way of being like, oh, like, he's being weird or he's being like annoying or whatever. But like, I was like, oh, no. Sassy's supposed to mean he's being overly expressive of his emotions. I thought that's what you wanted. Was I wrong? Were we actually like, you know what, actually, that toxic masculinity shit? With it. Like, were we actually there and I was just back far behind and I just didn't know and I didn't catch up? Am I new here?
A world like that will never exist. A world where men freely express themselves and their feelings without being judged or ridiculed will never become a reality. Society constantly tells men to be vulnerable, to open up, and to share their emotions. But the moment they do, they are labeled as weak and unattractive. Men have learned this the hard way. When a man expresses his pain or stress, he's often met with indifference, brushed off, or even used as an emotional punching bag later. Meanwhile, when a woman opens up, she is comforted and supported. This double standard is why so many men have stopped talking about their emotions altogether. They know that in the end, no one really cares. They're expected to be strong, stable, and unshakable, no matter what they're going through. Men suffer in silence, knowing that no one is coming to save them. A world where men can express themselves without being judged will never exist because, deep down, people don't want to see men as vulnerable. They only want them to be providers, protectors, and problem solvers.